A couple things were brought up, and this will be the last video I can do today. Um, Interpolations, basically scribal change, meaning scribal changes in this case. Could that have happened to Origin? I don't know, but the person brought up compared it to Junia. Throughout the Gospels and, well, the New Testament, we see things where there's scribal changes, but they're not really done for. They're done because I think, oh, somebody made a mistake here. And Junia, oh wait, no, it's supposed to be Junius. So they change it to the masculine, just like when they flip around, I've not come to fulfill the law, I've come to abolish the law, or I've not come to abolish the law, I've come to fulfill it. They think they're correcting something. It's not done for the sake of trying to make it more in line with current teaching. It's almost, I don't know if we can find a specific Kami-Ohanian, possibly, but I think it's pretty well shown that it was a side note that got added in there, which is how most of the stuff. I don't know that anything gets put in there for, to change it doctrinally. I don't think that ever actually happened in any case to the New Testament. I mean, there's errors that got in there, but we can work back to pretty much, what was in the first few centuries, which is very close with historical documents. It's crazy close to what the original is. I don't even think we have that for something like the rights of man. I think there's more things in dispute in the rights of man than there is in all the New Testament. And when I mean more, I don't mean spelling or is this feminine or masculine. I mean just whole wordings of sentences or even paragraphs. Was that done with Clement, or not Clement, Origin? I don't see how it could be or why it would be. It's easy to get. I mean, you can see, okay, here's Clement, here's Origin. What do we have before then? We have these guys before then, we have these guys after him. And you can see, I mean, you can look at Ignatius, Polycarp, Justin Martyr, Ignatius, or not Ignatius, Irenaeus, Clement. Origin was received in the same areas that these people were received in by pretty much the same communities. The question might be, did it go the other way? Did the Gnostics and the Docetists grab onto this? Because remember when he's writing and try to force it over to them. If anything, it would go in the other direction. And I don't see any evidence for that either. That seems about the view that you would get if you're going to different places and picking up these different views, and you're not really with who his opponents were. It seems like that would be stuff that he believed. As for the devil and Arius being the only two that we could say that are in hell, that's not a personal belief. It's something expounded by the church. And then it was said that, well, you don't think he's sincere. Someone can sincerely believe that raping and murdering children is the way to appease the voices in their head. Sincerity, it doesn't count for anything. Whether a heretic was sincere or not, better if they're insincere, if they're just screwing around and they actually, oh no, I actually, they're just politicking. It's better if because then they can actually get out of it. What he was proposing was cutting at. Remember, it was an innovative teaching. He was saying, oh, but with this wording, the way everything's worded, it's not really, he's not God. Which would have, it was basically speaking against all of the martyrs and all of the persecution the Christians went through, because it doesn't really matter. And people like Athanasius, who went through hell. I mean, Irenaeus had no idea that Constantine was going to flip and turn to his side, and that the whole world for a period was going to be majority Arian. I mean, those who fought the Arians, you know, and when I say fought, I hope nobody thinks fist fight, but, well, Nicholas, but who actually contended with the Arian heresy. I mean, they went through hell. And Arius, his teaching would have cut. I mean, that would have been Christianity would have died out. The gospel probably wouldn't be existing. Why? Because first of all, Christianity then departs from monotheism, has no connection with the past. Christ, can he save us? No. I mean, they didn't see these implications. Arius was just kind of, you know, pushing at this from one way. But that's eventually what those implications were, and it was so abhorrent because you have people coming right out of persecution, right out of seeing people getting hacked to death and murdered, and Arius says, all those people, all those martyrs, are pagans and they're going to burn in hell. Because they're actually blaspheming the Father. No, that's unacceptable. And who knows what canon we would have had. I mean, the works of John, they're right out. They're right out the window. That's too much. That wouldn't have survived an Arian teaching. Because again, they had their own heresy. I mean, look at the way the Vandals had treated the Catholic Christians or the Orthodox Christians when they got in charge. I mean, whoa. I mean, they beat them up, murdered them, whipped them, enslaved them. It wasn't... the Arian treatment towards Nicene Christianity was terrible. And people wonder why, well, why were, you know, later on were the Arians so, you know, why that was so vigorously fought against when the empire became non-Arian again. Oh, look at the way the Arians treated them. Especially the Vandals, the Visigoths. Yeah, the Visigoths, they were oppressed, but they weren't saints. So, if Arius being sincere, I think he was sincere. I mean, is the devil sincere about rejecting God if we're going to use terms like this? I mean, even if you don't believe in Satan or the devil, at least with the stories that you know, are they, I mean, and this is for anybody out there, so it makes it open to anybody. I mean, in the view of all the monotheistic faiths, is Satan, you know, or at least Christianity, is Satan sincere in rebelling against God? Yes, he is. Is he any better for that? No. And again, this is not me saying the devil and Arius. That's not just me saying it, that's the church. I am not allowed to say anything else. Alright, take it easy. Peace to you. May God save Serbia, Syria, and Ireland, and please pray for the Copts.